I guess that's enough on the Ben Simmons point. Let's go quickly on John Wall. So, just this past week, we got the news that John Wall has agreed to part ways with the Houston Rockets, and they're going to find a way to get him to a destination that he wants to go to. Now, they did not agree on a buyout, and John Wall still has 2 years, $91.7 million. I don't understand how they're going to do this without buying him out. And why would you pay all this money? He's due $47 million next year. That is insane.
Well, I will lead with this is that, and this might just bring the wrecking ball right in. There's like, but this is a perfect segue right from the Ben Simmons conversation, right? Is first I'll preface with John Wall, granted 10 years in the league, phenomenal point guard in his time being in the league. Um, but he's been unlucky with health. I don't think there's anything in his game
Yep.
that's made him personally regress. It's just, health got the best of him. And because of that, he's seen the game pass him. I feel bad about that, but granted, it's a game, it's a business. That's what happens at this time.
Mm-hmm.
But to come in with that wrecking ball is the perfect segue into this. Is I was reading an article earlier today where they positioned whether you could go and make the Ben Simmons trade and package that around bringing him to the Rockets and bringing John Wall to the Sixers. And let's dive into what that would look like and how
Ooh.
would the Sixers look like in the end of bringing John Wall to that team. What do you personally think John Wall and the Sixers look like in your mind?
So, John Wall and the Sixers. Very interesting. So, like you're saying, for John Wall, his problem isn't really his game, because if you look at his numbers, his game has actually been pretty even this entire time. He's really not dropped far in any category. His game has not regressed. If anything, the only thing you see in his game is he's taking more threes and he's still not really making them because he's not a good 3-point shooter. But the it's it's a it's a tough fit in my opinion because, like I was saying, he's not a good 3-point shooter. At least he takes them, so he's gonna spread the floor better than Ben Simmons. I think he fits better in there than what Ben Simmons is right now. It's just, I just feel it's so hard for any contending team to try to have John Wall on your team because we all know the best ability is availability, and John Wall does not have a track record of being healthy. So if you're paying this man that much money, I don't know how even the salaries work because John Wall definitely makes more money, at least I'm thinking off the top of my head, than Ben Simmons. So I don't like I just don't see how it's not that great. And it's, you know what sucks for the Rockets? I'm sure there was an offer, or not for the Rockets, for Philly. I'm sure there was an offer for Harden for Ben Simmons. I'm sure there's something in there that they could have done, but look what we're talking about now. Instead of Harden for Ben Simmons, it's Ben Simmons for John Wall.
and once again, we're not trying to disrespect
Yeah,
what Ben Simmons is as a player, right? I mean, what John Wall is as a player.
exactly.
But when you look at what he is currently now, and to see what the conversation was last year and now what it is now, it really does. It is sad to see it
It
go
is.
out this way because the Sixers really had a situation where they could have capitalized and put whatever package, much like I was saying about the Denver Nuggets GM, where I'm calling each and every day and every moment. I'm calling to figure this out. I'm not letting there be a way where this trade slips past me and I don't make the right decision,
Hmm.
right? Um, so with that in mind, I'm thinking that yeah, it sucks that it went down that route for the Sixers. But I'm thinking more of on the Raphael Stone side of this, of the
Oh,
Rockets GM, is that this was his guy. And in my mind, the way how he positioned this, the way what he was trying to get out of the Nets last year is that Ben Simmons was the guy that he was looking for. And if he could figure out a way to get him on the cheap, granted, like you said, John Wall's contract is not cheap. I think he's getting upwards north of 40,000. Well, I said 40,000, 40 million a year,
47
right?
mil next year.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. that is ridiculous.
And the cap is like
But
around like 100 and maybe 110 around there. Like that's
exactly.
oh,
So you have a guy that just, so to speak, is kind of a shell of what he was earlier in his career. Getting that big a percentage of your salary cap could raise flags, right? For on the Sixers side of it. But if Raphael could find a way to get Ben Simmons out of this, I believe that that would be. I just said the Kings was the best situation. I think that that would be a better situation for Ben Simmons to put himself into if he has the right leadership there. Do you know who's actually? Oh, they're. I'm thinking of their coach. I'm trying
oh.
to remember. Uh,
It's I don't think it's really anyone that we're gonna know off the top of our heads.
yeah,
Um,
I think it's not Styles, or is it
it
Styles?
is Steven Styles.
It is
Yep,
Styles.
yep.
Yeah, it's with Styles and how they were receptive to him last year. And I know he came from the Dallas Mavericks
Yeah, yeah.
tree of coaches, so
Carlisle.
he was under Carlisle at that time. So there's been a lot of talks of how he's been passed up for opportunities, and given this opportunity, even though the season went how it went last year, he was able to get the most out of his players. Give him Ben Simmons. Give him a chance at Ben Simmons, a crack at that, and do that with the young core that they're also creating down there as well. And I would love to see how that pairs out.